of theft. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Eddie Napolitano joining us right now. Feel bad for a guy like that. Well, he's in a no-win situation.
Agreed. But Mr. Guidry is quite correct. The government does not have the authority. It has the authority to issue the moratorium, which it will issue for political reasons because it wants to get other oil companies out of there and get the media's eye off the ball of the White House and onto the ball of BP. But it doesn't have the authority to order BP to pay the salaries of those who would have worked in the absence of the moratorium. Therefore, if the government wants BP to do that, it will have to sue BP to do it. It can't order BP to do it. If it does and it takes the money, that's theft. It would be like anybody stealing money, saying, I think A owes B because of what C did. That's not the way the system works.
All right. Flip it around, though. They might have the authority to do that. I know you said they
Well, they have the authority to issue the moratorium.
Understood. But now, let's say we have 6 months where this guy can't do anything. He can't, he can't do anything. So we hear in the administration, BP is going to pay for that. But BP didn't say shut down the Gulf.
The government did. That would be the same government that made BP drill in 5,000 feet of water instead of 500 feet of water. That would be the same government that gave BP an artificial liability cap of $75 million, which means they didn't even buy an insurance policy.
You can never sue the government.
You can't sue the government. You can, but not in this situation. You can only change the government. And in fairness to President Obama, the liability cap came about in the Clinton administration, but it happens over and over again. When politicians think that they can interfere with the free market, they make things worse. Example, if this property were privately owned, the earth, instead of owned by the government, if BP were required to have insurance because there's no liability cap, the insurance carrier, whose money would really be on the line, would be so strict with BP, far stricter and far more knowledgeable than the government has been. And it is less likely that we would have had this problem. Instead, we have government bureaucrats with the bottomless pit of federal cash telling BP engineers how to clean something up that the government bureaucrats have never cleaned up before.
You know, that's pointed very succinctly. I like that. I'm going to steal that exact line.
You are free to do
But Judge, could I ask you this? I mean, obviously, what the administration is saying, whatever related or tangential problems that developed because of what you, BP, did, including our having to take this step to shut down the Gulf and drilling in the meantime, you should pay for that. That we could sort this out later, but BP, you're paying for that. You're paying guys like the guests we just had.
The president took an oath to uphold the federal law. The federal law caps BP's liability at $75 million. It's a bad law, but it's still the law. He's already saying he doesn't want to enforce the law he took an oath to uphold. Of course BP should pay for all the reasonable and probable consequences of its behavior, which is the damage where the oil goes. But that's not why the moratorium in the Gulf was issued by the government. The government issued the moratorium in the Gulf so we would stop complaining about the government.
Well, I'm not